Final match of the night, Top Tier versus RBIS. Stay tuned, you're watching the WGLNA Season 4.
So my name, Velaccio, it came from an Italian gangster called Velacci, and I thought that name was pretty cool, so I just added an O after that so people wouldn't recognize him, and it became Velaccio. And people pronounce it like Velaccio, but it would be better if you just call me Velaccio. So the process of becoming a professional gamer, it kind of just came naturally to me because like I was asked to join Nerve in Season 2, and then after that I kind of wanted to make my own team, try something out, and like everything just somehow worked out. I didn't expect it to work out so well, but it did. In terms of how my family and my friends handled it, none of my friends believed me when I told them I was a professional gamer. And my parents thought I was gonna fail school when I told them I'm gonna be a professional gamer. One thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I really want a girlfriend. Another thing that people don't know about me is I really want a six-pack.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WGLNA Season 4. We're in the final match tonight. I'm Joshua Clutchgrade, joined by Randall, Rookhill, Holcomb. We've had some excellent matches so far. Top Tier versus RBIS. Before we get into this match, I want to remind everyone to please follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, and make sure to use that hashtag WGLNA. Our question of the day: what tanks are you looking forward to tonight in tonight's matches? A lot of people were looking forward to the T-69. Some people had some outlandish tanks. People really love the T-32, obviously. But no Object 416 yet, Randall.
Yeah.
Not yet.
But outlandish tanks. You want to hear one?
Sure.
SU-100Y. That's Shazad says that, and he wants that and a TOG. Says it would be pretty hilarious. SU-100Y and TOG, both would be absurd.
Yeah.
It would break me.
It might break you.
It would.
It might break you.
I would probably just pass out in a fit of uncontrollable just confusion.
We've seen you break a couple times, but I'm here to pick you back up, man. Put you back together.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. That's what Battle Buddies do. That's what Battle Buddies do. All right, well, let's talk about these two teams that are about to face off against each other. Top Tier. Top tier. Well, they have a top-tier trail of tears after the series that they had last week against Simp. It was full east side to the south on mines, and it didn't work because the T-32s from Simp were able to overmatch them. So, you know, it wasn't the selection of tanks that was a fault in the series. It was a stratagem of the tanks that they brought. The 5100s did not work. We saw something similar earlier on today that was not effective as well against Sim. So let's see if they still have some bag of tricks that's available for RBIS. RBIS is fresh off a win against their rivals, Victorious Secret. And as it was for Disruption and his team, RBIS will have to prove themselves tonight against a team that they do not have the same amount of experience compared to playing against Victorious Secret. Victorious Secret was able to do it. So now the question is, can RBIS do it? Or is top tier going to be the team that we saw in the Season 3 finals? And with that, I welcome the two team representatives to the face-off tonight. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Let's start off with Rude Awakening. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you guys.
Your match against Simp, drawn Battle 1, then a complete shutdown of your tactics in Battle 2. How is the team recovering from week number 1?
We practiced, we got better, we reviewed our film, we realized the mistakes we made, and I made mistakes myself as the caller. So we are going to correct those mistakes and get better.
I do applaud you for your ingenuity, at least on the east side of mines. But well, we saw another team try to do that as well. It just wasn't working out. So can you say anything in regards to your type of preparation? Is it time itself that you added, or is it a different approach to what you're bringing against this team?
Against this team, it's going to be pretty much, we're going to play our game. We're going to play it to the best of our abilities, and hopefully it will work out a lot better, and the jitters will be gone, and we're going to play much better this week than we did last week.
All right, and I want to return to a point that Clutch was making about mines. Why are these strats that are pushing the east and trying to take the hill at the same time not working?
Well, it's mostly because of the ways that players can defend against the hill push, or what can you really do from the hill. There's a lot, our options are very limited. So sometimes it's not really worth getting spotted and taking damage just to see or find out the positioning of one tank or another. So a lot of times I know players are playing more safely these days in WGLNA.
Aquavolt, let's kick it on over to you. I'm sure your win against Victorious Secret added a little bit of a pep in your step, a little jolt in your volt. Is your attitude as a team different after your victory last week?
Oh, yeah, definitely. When we beat Victoria's Secret, we went through the matches and we saw we had we made a lot of mistakes, and we were, nervous as a team. It was our first match in Gold League, but we went through all the mistakes that we've made, and we've taken the steps to make sure we don't make those mistakes again, and we're definitely ready for a top tier.
Have you prepared differently? Because you were up against a team that you had so much experience with last week. Is your preparation different this week?
Well, we've been preparing to the best of our abilities every week, and I'd say we're as prepared this week as we are last week, if not a lot more.
Okay. Do you have any words for your opponents before we get started?
GLHF.
Top tier.
Good luck and have fun as well.
All right, good luck and have fun. All right, gentlemen, best of luck on the battlefield.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, nice manners between both players, but also very nice to hear from Rude Awakening why the Eastern strat is not working on mines in the current meta, but it can still be worked out. I still believe in it. I'm still in the belief business on the east side on mines. But let's take a look at the rosters real quick, Rookhill, as we discuss a couple of the players that we're looking forward to the most, at least from top tier. Who do you have? I've
got Baxtaz in the T1. I thought his performance was pretty solid for a T1. E63 M6 with 5k damage and 87% accuracy. Valachio as well was a high performer on his team with decent accuracy, pretty solid damage. Not the best, though. Unfortunately, top tier was not the highest performing team, except for maybe E63. On the side of RBIS, Carbon Ward, over 8,000 damage, 8,303 with a 94.6 hit rating. Below him, Ox Mathis, 6,675. Beautiful, beautiful coming out of RBS with the amount of damage they're able to deal. But it doesn't matter about the individual damage itself sometimes, because they can still go for the flag cap. You can still go for a flank. You could still get an ammo rack. What matters is how you win. Rookhill, what are the rules
of victory for these teams.
All right, rules for victory first. Know your tanks. Top tier. Team I'm putting on top uses IS-6s a lot. They use really strange tanks. I need to see RBIS ready for this kind of stuff. They may need to consider not bringing a tank like a T-69 in mines, for example, or on some of those open maps where we might see that. And also try and use 5100s a little more often and IS-3s when you see those IS-6s. Next, win the war with Carbon Ward. Carbon Ward was a monster last week. You already talked about that. He did 8,300 damage in the last match. Beautiful play, and we just need to see that again. And RBIS should be pretty okay. After that, we need to be rude to Rude. We also pointed that out. Rude had about 2,000 damage last time, but the thing is, he was hitting quite a lot of his shells. I want to see him get shut down, and we might be okay for RBIS.
Might be okay.
Might be okay.
Might be okay. Top tier, they have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. RBIS has to do more of the same from last week. But again, preparations are different. Experience is different. And as Rude Awakening said, the jitters are gone after that first matchup. Match number 2 for both of these teams in week 2. Match number 4 for us tonight. The final match. The first battle would take place on the map of the week. That is Ensk. We're ready to go. Rookhill, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, we've got 2 5100s and 3 IS-3. Oh, no. Oh,
Ho,
they
ho.
always get me with this one.
Ho, ho.
They've got an IS-6 in there.
Ha, ha.
Valleccio, you always sneak it in there. It looks just like an IS-3 almost. Almost.
Except it's a 6.
Well, it's hard. It's easy to miss.
Can you detail for us a little bit the difference between a 6 and a 3?
6 is double of 3.
Okay.
Or it's 3 more.
Or it doesn't have spaced armor compared to an IS-3.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the number literally.
No. Detail the tank.
I was like, thanks, Clutch.
It can perform higher DPM on the hard stats, but it has lower penetration.
Horrible penetration, really.
And it has more... the angle in the front is different compared to an IS.
The armor layout's completely different.
Flatter.
Yeah. It's hard to compare the two tanks' performance in that way. The Shuka will get different results than the front of the IS-6. The IS-6 has just different armor. It's like they took the Shuka and they're like, you know what? Let's take that part of the front, not the whole front, part of the front, and let's just chop that off and put another flat piece of armor. Like, instead of just putting a Shuka. Because they could have put one there. They just didn't. And I don't know why.
Is the IS-6 a premium tank?
Yes.
In the game?
It's a pretty premium tank. Makes lots of money.
That's right. That credits. Oxmathis, Sella, Precambrian. They're the ones in the lumberyard, along with Carbon Ward and Akiyama, RBIS.
This is a lineup very similar to what we saw from Fun Gaming, and also similar to what we saw from what was that after Fun Gaming? Oh yeah, and on the other side it was like Victoria's Secret. This is the same thing almost. Very similar, almost the same. We'll see if they execute the same way. A little different though, explosionism.
Yeah, I'm looking at RBIS, man. They are completely committed to the east side, except for one T1 tank to the south for scouting defensive position. They want this to happen. And top tier has not scouted any of these tanks. Oxmathis and Sella are seesawing back and forth. Now one of them spotted.
Explosion. Explosionism is spotted in his IS-3 by Precam. Precam's able to slide away.
Shot fired and a miss.
E63 also firing off into the distance, trying to get Precam as Precam jukes, ducks, dips, dives, dodges around as Explosion also tries to get more shells out.
Oof, more shots fired.
This might not work, guys. This also might be a trap, and it might be a really good time for RBIS to decide to push.
Oh, Precambrian is hit in the tracks, still alive.
Good.
And this is the time that RBIS will push towards the flag cap.
A bounce from Sella on the move. Oxmathis might not do the same. No, you won't. 399. Low roll.
Aquavolt's hit. That's 3 hits on RBIS. And that's another one against Sella. Past 50. But Precambrian is open to get to the flag cap and will stay there. Well, RBIS is going to push up and continue the engagement. Explosion is low. Sella hanging back, allowing Ox Mathis and Akiyama to be in the front. Aquavolt pushing up.
He's looking for a shot, but he seems frozen still, not wanting to go forward.
Stuck in the railroad tracks.
Oh. We may have disconnected Josh.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to verify with our admin if a disconnect had happened. Oh, okay.
Well, that's a little bit awkward.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yep.
I was looking at Aquavolt and I saw him going through inside of a railroad track, and I decided that that's not normal. That's not normal at all. Yeah. It looks like.
Well, let's see if I can reconnect.
Okay, I will do the same. We apologize about this, folks, but the vehicle of esports, sometimes technology happens. As we do try to reconnect, what we're going to have to do is take a quick break to allow ourselves to figure out with our admin what exactly is happening in the match, and we'll give you guys all the details when we return. Don't worry, the match will still continue, and we will be right back. This is a WGLNA. Everybody, welcome back to the WGLNA. The match is still continuing here as we fix it. Again, we do apologize about this, but we want to interact with you guys on Twitter when we can, so make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, Facebook.com/WGLNA, and make sure to use that hashtag WGLNA. Question of the night has been which maps or which tanks do you want to see in the matches tonight? And as we talked about before this matchup, whoever chose an IS-6, congratulations, this was definitely your night, and you definitely know your team top tier. But I want to talk more about some of the tanks that we did see in the qualifiers that we normally don't see at all in 7x42 play in the most professional level. I'm talking about Tigers, Tiger 1s. KV5 is still a viable tank.
It is.
A viable tank. But please detail for us why people select these specific tanks that we see all the time.
Okay, so it's pretty easy, which is these tanks perform the best at the role to which they usually perform. IS-3s, lots of hit points, great alpha, a pretty decent DPM, meaning they don't have too long a reload, and their cons aren't too bad. They don't catch fire all the time, while the IS-3's ammo rack is pretty volatile. It's not going to blow up all the time. There's a reason it's that over the T-32. T-32 has good damage output, great DPM with the 90, the 105 not so much, but it's a good balance between a lot of things with T-32, which is why we talk about it not having any cons, because its true, really great strength is its gun depression and hull down, the hull down being strong turret. Aside from that, the T-32 isn't really exceptional at anything, and so isn't really brought in cities because it doesn't hit quite hard enough, doesn't move quite fast enough, doesn't have enough hit points to where it's a choice over many other tanks. 5100, of course, brought because it's an autoloader, and autoloaders are incredibly potent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very potent indeed.
The damage burst, we call it. Just, you can't deal with it. There's no way for a consistent fire tank to just deal with burst fire from something like the 5100 or 1390 face on.
But there's the three pillars of tanks. You have speed, armor, damage.
Well, firepower.
Firepower.
I like to say firepower.
Yeah. Steve, armor, firepower. That's
Yeah.
how it works. And with those three different pillars, you have strengths and weaknesses of some of the different tanks. And then in the 5100s, it's that firepower. 1390s, that firepower. But the armor, not so good. All right, we're going to throw to another break as we're just about ready to have this issue resolved. And after that, we'll be ready to go for the next battle between RBIS and Top Tier. Stay tuned. This is WGLNA. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the WGLNA Season 4. I'm Clutch on my Rookkill. Still getting this issue resolved. We thank you for your patience. But as we have you here, waiting to get into battle number 2 between these two teams, we'll have to check in with our admin for the results of battle number 1. We were talking about the three different pillars of tanks. You have firepower, armor, and speed. We talked about the autoloaders earlier. Let's talk about tanks that have more of the alpha strike damage, the higher strike damage, but are consistent fire tanks, like an IS-3, like a T-32, like a Pershing. And a Pershing that was used famously by Mournblade in Season 2 that started to be used by a lot of players. What are the main advantages, and then you could say disadvantages, of these tanks for a lot of these people that are new to World of Tanks?
Okay, so for consistent fire, of course, there is the advantage of consistent fire. It seems like not an advantage, more like the norm, and then autoloaders are the ones who have the weird advantage-disadvantage thing of being two extremes. Consistent fire tanks, you measure DPM and actually pay attention to that because in a battle or a brawl, you want to be able to fire quickly, and you also want to deal a decent amount of damage. Generally, by the way, tanks like the Pershing with the 90 mil have better DPM than tanks with like the IS-3, which do have great alpha, but trade off for that with DPM. Now, There is something cool about tanks like the T-32, though, in that you get a choice. You can choose the 105 on the T-32 and get better alpha, not quite as good accuracy, and not as good DPM, which is still slightly better than an IS-3's, slightly lower alpha than an IS-3's, but better, you know, the better damage per minute. Of course, if you pick the 90 on the T-32, which I prefer, you get better APCR penetration, which everyone fires in the professional league. You get slightly lower damage, yes. You get a little more accuracy. You get way better DPM. So there's little pros and cons there, and it depends on your playstyle, especially if you're a T-32 that likes to play the hill games up and down and not trying to use DPM to your advantage, but use alpha 105, usually the best choice. Unless, of course, maybe something's heavily armored like another T-32. 90 might help you out. Of course, then you bring the 90 and you start brawls with that, and you just mess people up because you're a T-32. You have tons of hit points, and you also have insane DPM, which allows for good control. Your ability to control opponents based on your DPM. When you have a fast-firing gun, what you can do is if you are able to get your shots aimed, you can make what are called track pens, which is when you damage someone's track and you penetrate their tank doing plenty of damage. And with that, you get control because their opponent can't move, or you can hit critical modules, or you can just get away easily. I don't know. Tons of advantages. This is why I prefer, of course, better DPM tanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it comes down to preferential choices as well. Some players like for me, I like the 105 on the T-32 for the higher damage compared to the 85, or the 105 compared to the 90.
Yeah, and also the 80. When you said 85, that reminded me of the WZ-132. Exactly.
Yeah.
The 85 versus the 100 mil argument is a little bit more complicated because the 85 millimeter on the WZ-132 has really good heat pen, has amazing DPM, but it fires heat shells. And the problem is that the heat shells don't have the absurd pen, or they don't have high enough penetration to the point where they're not going to fizzle when they hit tracks a lot. That's a big problem if you're playing a WZ-132. Which one you want to fire at any given moment. If you bring the 100 mil, you have this big long gun, which is massive, by the way. It fires very slowly, hits pretty hard. It's a 100 millimeter Russian style cannon. It's pretty good, but it's APCR is certainly a pro in that case. A very good reason to bring a lower DPM, higher alpha gun on a light tank like that.
I've been informed by our production team that RBIS won that first battle against Top Tier, and they're waiting to start battle number 2. Let's take a look at the matches that happened earlier on this evening. The first one, #RU versus Simple Tankers, 3-2 for #RU in a very, very close series, a very good series as well. Simp versus C'est La Vie, 3-1 to Simp. Fun Gaming lost to Victoria's Secret 3-1, and RBS is currently up 1-0 against Top Tier, but that series is still continuing. Still waiting to get this issue resolved here for the technical side. Being informed right now what's going on in my ear, and we're close, what I've been told. We do apologize again as we are trying to get these matches underway for you guys. The final match of tonight. Predictions, I hope you guys put your bets in. Bets went live for 4 minutes when the face-off began, and I'm sure if anyone's paying attention to Twitch chat, they're seeing people betting like crazy. We're going to have to get some of the stats on some of those bets. I'm sure a lot of people put bets down for Simple Tankers compared to #RU. So there might have been a big upset there.
Oh, man, so many points probably lost. Everyone's salty as just so salty right now. I would be, because I would have been the one to bet on Simple Tankers. #RU with the Fun Gaming match we saw last time. I wasn't confident in him. But after that face-off, Godzilla was not happy.
No, he was not. He was not. But face-offs are a great opportunity for these team members, these team leaders, to show off their personalities, to show off who they are behind the tanks. And one of my favorite personalities has always been Captain Blood for River of Blood. Let's take a look at how he commands his team.
River of Blood, we are the 4 founders of this league. We are a legacy. We've been here since the beginning, and we will not go quietly into the Silver League. When they make a Mount Rushmore of the WGLNA, it will be our team, our blood that carved its foundation in gold. We will do this, we will win, we will live forever. Captain Blood out. Good speech, Blood. Good speech. We got this season. I think they felt it. Oh, my hair's so gorgeous. I love it. Glad I went with blonde.
I don't think Fnatic is very happy with the way they're brawling right now.
Not hitting their shots. Sit may be the champions, but I fear they have awoken a sleeping giant. That's going to be unleashed in Season 4. Hey everybody, welcome back.
Hey.
WGLNA Season 4. Like a little hey!
Hey.
We have this issue almost resolved, I believe. Still checking in with the production team and our admin. Again, we do sincerely apologize to have to delay the final match tonight, RBIS versus Top Tier, but we're almost ready. I'm Clutch, joined by Rookkill, and we are excited to be bringing you all the action here live from our studio in Burbank, California. If you're unfamiliar with California, Southern California, Los Angeles, one of the major hubs. Right above it, Burbank, one of the most historical cities in Southern California. It's where all the major studios broadcast. You name it, it's probably out of Burbank. And that's where we are. Because what better place to host the greatest esports shows Been outside of Burbank, baby. That's how we do it. Anyways, we're really excited to be here. And when we get to tell people that the studio for WGLNA is in Burbank, California, it raises a lot of eyebrows and it raised a lot of smiles. And, oh, that's really cool. We should talk more. Conversations I had when I got to host at E3, which was a lot of fun. And I got to talk to Mo, who some of you guys are familiar with. He's the head of esports globally for World of Tanks. And Mo, I was able to interview him along with my co-hosts Chelsea and Patrick. And we talked to him about the Global Grand Finals and how much of a success that was, and how much of a success that was in so many different aspects of people asking us about the prize pools, of people asking us about the teams themselves, how much practice, how much preparation goes into these teams. And with that, these different results in terms of success were so important in so many aspects. Breaking records online on Twitch, the amount of money that was up for grabs for all these teams. But one of the questions I got to ask Mo was what's going to happen next for the Global Grand Finals? And that was a very, very intriguing question because he couldn't reveal too much. What he could talk about was it's not going to take place in Poland. He said that. And it will take place in a country, in a city that is a fan of tanks, more or less, is what he said. So the type of areas that could be in, I'm not sure. Region-based, it could be in America. It could be in Europe once again. I wouldn't mind it happening in Warsaw, Poland, because we had a sold-out crowd. It was great. Could it happen in South Korea? Maybe China? Anybody's guess. Australia? Southeast Asia. PvP Super Friends, 4th place.
Yeah.
It
Why
could
not?
happen. We also had Mitch, who was our host. Great guy. He's
Mitch
like,
is super.
time to go hammer and tongs, as he would say.
I didn't understand half of what he would say when we were off stage because he would just go Australian, and then I would be like, yeah, yeah, whatever you just said, Mitch, and he'd be like, you didn't understand a word of that, did you? And I'd be confused again.
Yeah.
And American.
Oh, well, his call sign was Uber, right?
Yeah.
Uber? Yeah. That's a German word, actually.
Yeah, but he decided as an Australian he would call himself Uber.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the current standings we have for the Alpha Division. First off, you take a look at Samp with 2 wins. It's 6 points overall. RBIS, 1 win. And they are still in the match between top tier with 3 points. Hashtag RU is 1-1 with 3. Simple Tankers 1-1 with 3. Victoria's Secret 1-1 with 3. Fun Gaming 1-1 with 3. Top tier, 1 loss so far. Still in that series, 0 points. C'est la vie at the bottom of the Alpha Division with 0. Tough spot for C'est la vie. Don't count them out yet, though. Don't count them out yet.
Yeah, but RBIS looks pretty good right now, and so does hashtag RU. I mean, you've got
Well,
this weird middle zone, I guess.
Yeah, the middle zone is always going to be like that for a number of weeks. And it's the beginning, the middle zone is pretty tied. The middle of the season, people are everywhere. And then at the end of the season, you have another middle zone again. That's when you have to have the tiebreakers.
There's always a tie.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to the amount of matches that are played as well in any type of group play or bracket form or division form, which we have.
Yeah, but even, no matter how hard we try, they still seem to find a way. They always seem to find a way of making a 3-way tie. Even if it comes to 3 tiebreakers, 1 for each of those teams, making them all have 7 points in the league and all 3-way tie.
Life finds a way, quoting Jeff Goldblum.
Jurassic Park.
I met that individual in person.
Did you?
He has a jazz band he plays with in Hollywood, and we got to talk for a little bit. And he's like,
a jazz band?
He does, and it's really cool.
That's
really
actually
cool.
super awesome.
They'll take requests as well, and they'll bring in different singers. And I kept yelling out, Moon River, to play. And
That's like yelling Freebird.
He would, no, yeah, maybe.
That's like yelling Freebird.
Yeah, we could play Moon River. Yeah, we could do that. Or, he's very Jeff Goldblum-esque. And
okay.
It was very, very cool. Very nice individual, very tall. We talked a little bit about what I do and acting and performing and hosting and esports and stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's fascinating. It was fun to talk to. One of my favorite things I ever seen him do was an episode of Conan O'Brien. By the way, if you guys want to come down to Conan to watch, you should swing by our studio here in Burbank as well. I got to watch Conan last year. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, he was on Conan. It was Conan Secrets. And so it would bring on Jeff Goldblum's Secrets. And he would say, when everybody asks me, how do you pronounce your last name? My last name, is it Goldblum or Goldblum? I tell them the same thing. How dare you speak to me?
Ah, yes. I remember that one. I've
Yeah.
seen that one. That's absolutely
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
It's awesome. My other favorite one was from who's that politician? Dang it, McCain.
okay.
John McCain, and it was John McCain secrets, and he goes back when I got back from the Vietnam War, I found out they canceled Green Acres. And what the hell was I fighting for?
I think I've heard that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to recognize the level of humor coming from John McCain, because he was a POW in Vietnam for how many years? I mean, multiple years. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So when he says something like that, it's like, wow. I have to really recognize the depth of that humor. And I also recognize the depth of these different players, their humor, what they bring to the scene, their different personalities. We got to see a lot of humor coming out of River of Blood. But we had a little bit more of an interview with Valaccio from Top Tier. Let's take a look.
So my name Valaccio, it came from an Italian gangster called Valachi, and I thought that name was pretty cool, so I just added an O after that so people wouldn't recognize him, and it became Valaccio. And people pronounce it like Valacio, but it would be better if you just call me Valaccio. So the process of becoming a professional gamer, it kind of just came naturally to me because like I was asked to join Nerve in Season 2, and then after that I kind of wanted to make my own team, try something out, and like everything just somehow worked out. I didn't expect it to work out so well, but it did. In terms of how my family and my friends handled it, none of my friends believed me when I told them I was a professional gamer. And my parents thought I was gonna fail school when I told them I'm gonna be a professional gamer. One thing that a lot of people don't know about me is that I really want a girlfriend. Another thing that people don't know about me is I really want a six-pack.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for your patience. We're almost ready. We almost have this resolved, and I'm looking forward to who's going to take this. Top Tier versus RBIS. Got to see Valaccio a little bit. He really wants a girlfriend, and the best way to get a girlfriend is to be successful in life, and the best way to be successful in life is to win at World of Tanks Esports.
Wait a tick.
Yeah.
It's not just to be successful. You have to have personality. You have to relate with someone.
No. No.
What?
Whoever told you that lied.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Scarface? First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women. That's how it works.
That's a lot of women. But,
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want that many problems?
No. No, you don't.
No.
You don't. You don't. Listen, don't take dating advice from us. That's a lesson you learn.
Don't take dating advice from Scarface.
From Scarface.
Yeah.
No, all right, Valaccio, I'll help you out. I'll give you a little hint. When people say be yourself, that's 90% true. But you have to make yourself vulnerable, and you have to stir up some courage in order to talk to that girl that you like. Because if you can't do that, then how can you listen to her feelings? How can you know what she wants? How can you actually put the time in to create a relationship that's beneficial if you don't have the courage to talk to her? And if you need help, I'll be your battle buddy. Don't worry.
That was amazing.
Hey, that's what I've learned in my 28 years of dating.
Dating advice from the WGLNA, guys.
And also, I'll tell you another thing. And you ladies out there, this is for you. Never give a guy a fake yes. All right? Never give a guy a fake yes.
Do you get a fake yes?
I've gotten fake yeses most of my entire life. Girls like, oh, yeah, I'd love to go out. Sounds great. And then like, all right, I'll pick you up Friday night, 8 o'clock. All right, sounds great. And then they cancel. They have to babysit, or their parents are in town, or whatever. And it would continue like that week after week, and I would just get fed up with it. Say, hey, just say you're not interested. And the reason why that doesn't happen is because at first they don't want to feel up, they don't want to make you mad or upset. But in reality, they don't want to feel uncomfortable. They don't want to feel upset by having to tell you that. If you can find a girl that says, hey, I'm very flattered that you like me, that you want to take me out, but unfortunately, I don't feel the same way. However, I hope it works out with someone else. That's a girl's got a lot of character and integrity. And if it doesn't work out, at least she was upfront about it. And that's how it works. Anyways, that's your dating 101 from Clutch and Real Kill. It's Valaccio really wants a girlfriend, man. That's what he really wants in his interview. All right. Well, looks like we're still trying to resolve this issue.
Yep.
Talking more about the Global Grand Finals, though, I wanted to extrapolate a little bit more of the goals of World of Tanks esports. And Ruka, I want you to take over here. What is the hopes and dreams that you see with World of Tanks esports? What we've seen in Season 1, what we've seen in Season 4, what have we accomplished so far, and what do you think's in the future?
All right, so that's a hard question to ask. You're asking me to predict quite a lot. And in order to predict everything about the way this is going, I'm not sure. I think we're all just going to grow and improve, and World of Tanks is just going to keep going places. I know a year ago, 2 years ago, we were still doing Eurosteel and stuff, and that was just dreaming of going over to Russia and getting to play World of Tanks just competitively at all. And then after a while, we all just kind of romanticized it, and then eventually, wow, we're here. Like a year ago, this all started up, and Eurosteel is not a big deal for anybody in America anymore. It's just all they care about is WGLNA. It's a huge jump, actually, for World of Tanks, because for the longest time, we didn't get to really... Excuse me, sorry.
No, it's fine. Jumping on to what you said, I remember when I commentated at WCG over 2 years ago for Tanks, World of Tanks, and I was approached by WCG and said, hey, can you commentate a game called World of Tanks? Yeah, I play World of Tanks, sure. I look forward to it, and I felt comfortable commentating it for the esports side, and that's when I first met Nagatron and Fulcrum Gaming at the time, which is now Fnatic. That's when I met a lot of individuals that have turned into be key individuals for World of Tanks esports. And I don't know if I met Caleb there or at a different time, but it was still being built. It was still being planned. It was still being implemented, what exactly was going to happen. And a lot of minds that had been around competition in general, maybe not esports itself, but competition, were invested in this. And it took some conversion. It took some proselyting, if you will, some evangelism to some key folks to say, hey, this can work. We can make this work in the 7x42 format, and look what we're able to accomplish. There's so many naysayers. There's so many people that are cynical that will say it'll never work. Why are you doing this? And they try to tear it down because it's their first defensive response to something that they feel they don't understand, yet they're jealous of the success.
It's just really easy to be cynical of anything.
Oh, it is. It really is easy to be cynical.
I think it's just a thing about Western culture in general. Just people are cynical and it's easy. So
well,
it just happens a lot. I mean, you should expect it. Anytime you want to present an idea or think something is great, generally the first response that you're going to get a lot of the time is probably, that's stupid.
Well, cynicism derives from the Western mentality of individualism, of as an individual, I feel I have to be cynical in order to make my presence known and have some sort of dominating presence within the conversation, rather than, oh, that's very fascinating, please tell me more. Please let me be humble, let me be educated. In the Western society, it wasn't always like that, but it has turned into that because of our generation. There's a lot of entitlement. Yeah. We've gotten really philosophical tonight.
Yeah, we have. That's because we had a lot of downtime until Battle on Mines.
Well, I'm glad that you guys were able to enjoy some of the philosophy of Clutch and Rookhill. That's why we love doing this. We know about tanks, and we know about life. And with that, it's time for battle number 2 of RBIS versus Top Tier. It's going to happen on Mines. What do we have for tanks?
All right, for tanks, I'm looking at a 5100, an IS-6 T32, T69, and 1390 for the side of Top Tier. RBIS, 2 T32s. They're pandering to you, Clutch. T69, 2 1390s, 2 T1s.
Well, RBIS may be in the lead, but Top Tier is bringing that IS-6.
Ooh, scary. IS-6. Yeah. So dangerous. Doesn't have gun depression.
It's a really good orc impression.
I don't know what I was going for. I just put a voice on it.
It worked.
Yeah.
I just got to put a voice over it and see what happens.
Yeah, that's just how you come up with good voices. Just have to make them up.
Sella and Oxy Mathis are up on the mines. They're able to scout Memory Leak, Velaccio, and Coolhammer. They see the tree fallen.
It's Aquavolt.
But no
liquid energy.
No tanks have been hit yet. On either side. Shot fired! Explosionism gets hit.
Yep.
Explosion into 329 damage.
Explosion. Batman. He's not Batman.
I wish I had a button for when a tank blows up and Batman, the PvP Super Friends Batman would pop up in the left-hand corner.
You'd just be like, wah!
And go, we're the vacation team! Aquavolt, Oxymathis fire. Does not land a hit against Velaccio.
Oh, and Carbon's about to take a sick position. Explosion isn't going to be able to attack this at all. Or, never mind. What? Where was that pen? Where was that? Carbon, where did you take a shell? Was that in your commander's hatch? Oh, it totally was.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sella fires, Oxymathis turning the corner. Aquavolt takes a hit from behind. Rude Awakening gets demolished. 11:03 in that volley.
If that didn't wake him up, I don't know what will.
Carbon ward is low. And he falls. Explosionism gets that kill. Rude Awakening has fallen as well. Oxymathis pushing around the corner. He's going for it. And he's going to focus on Velaccio. Waiting for the whole shot. Misses. Oxymathis will pay for that miss, but the Rock is able to give him cover. And look. Oh, he misses again, Oxymathis. You can't do this.
Dirt.
You can't do this, Oxymathis. Not in this position. He's going to fall. Explosionism might get him. He's going to fall back. 772. Aquavolt pushing up. He's going to put a jolt in that vault, and he is unable to get it. Yeah, he gets it. Takes out Explosionism.
There you go. There you go. Now, 2 tier 8s versus 4 for the side of RBIS. However, Memory Leak and E63 are both at full health.
7:21 left in the match. Left in the battle, excuse me. Plenty of time for RBIS to find what's left of top tier, but you cannot discount the amount of HP they still have. And they're down south. They also have one, that's Memory Leak.
Yep.
Going on the beach.
Just chilling out, getting suntan. Decided, hey guys, what happened? Oh, that's bad.
Agamemnon taking a couple hits here. Memory Leak spotted. Akiyama falling back slowly. Aquavolt low, 499.
Oh, where's Sella? Where's Oxymathis?
Oxymathis still behind the rocks.
Oh, that's good.
Low health. Sella, 50%. He's up on top of the mines, waiting for an opportunity to strike against top tier. Cool hammer falls from Oxymathis.
Nice shot. Ox does get spotted, finally, revealing that position to Memory Leak, who could very well clutch this one. It's completely possible. Aki, Ox, Sella, Aqua, all of them are incredibly low.
Sella pushes up closer.
I'm just waiting.
Still no scouting.
What's E63 doing? Agamemnon might go to join his T1 brother, Coolhammer, in death as he attempts to proxy spot, but he also may not, learning from the mistake. Good.
Sella's going to push up to the north, and he might go beachside, waterside. 5 minutes 52. Still plenty of time for RBIS to find him. E63M6. Where's he?
Chilling out at base, being a 5100. Doing what 5100s do best.
That's right.
Sit still and look at things. It's what they're really good at.
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back, with my mind on my 50 in my mind.
What?
I was going to try to change the lyrics to make it 5100. Didn't work.
It was a good try.
Mind on my money and my money on my 5100. There.
Your money on your 5100?
You know they're making an NWA film?
What?
A film about Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and Eazy-E.
Oh.
NWA. It's called Straight Outta Compton. I lived in Compton.
Did you?
I did. For 6 months.
That sounds like a...
Compton Watts area.
I guess the word interesting would be...
Oh yeah, I also lived in South Side. I did service work for 2 years. I lived in those areas. South Central, Compton, Watts.
Oh, Memory Leak finds Aquavolt. He also finds Akiyama.
Ooh, Akiyama.
What a pleasant surprise.
Akiyama is in trouble. He is hit on the side. He's
Run.
got it. Goomba, Agamemnon. Can't get it. Agamemnon may get the kill.
Do it, Agamemnon.
Oh, E63M6 gets it.
Well, Memory Leak jumps off the hill. Good job. Damages himself.
It's 3 against 3. Top tier evens it up.
And they have the health pool advantage.
They do.
And 5100 advantage. 5100 hits too hard.
Yes, it does.
Now Memory Leak looking out towards the west.
What is the approximate amount of damage a 5100 can do with 6 shots?
With 6 shots?
Yeah.
1800.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage, my friend.
Yep.
All right, well, Oxymathis.
Oh, wait, not 1800. 2100. My bad.
Well, low rolls, 1800.
No, I left out a shell for some reason.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Yeah, 6 shells. Or 5. Different. But of course, you can get up to 25% more on that, giving you pretty sweet, like 3K-ish, probably a reasonable high. And then for lows, I mean, that would just suck.
Yeah, it'd be a bad day.
Yeah.
That's what RBIS is having here because they can't push up against top tier with this damage. They're going to go for the draw. They're going to hang back by their flag, not push out. Top tier, are they pushing? Yes, they are. They're going east side.
It's
different type.
It's not their main strategy. This is just the fallback late game.
This is asterisk.
This is the asterisk.
No, it's this.
No, this is the asterisk. This is the let's go east, guys. I don't know why, but let's pick the east. They're probably not there. And they aren't. So it was a good choice. Because your opponent was like, yeah, let's not do that. They're both on the high ground, right? No.
Oxmathis and Sella?
Yeah.
No, they're not on the high ground.
No.
Sella is lower. Behind the rocks on the flag cap. Oxmathis is on the slightly higher ground, yes.
Ah. Well, you might be able to spot the approach. Agamemnon is on the way. Crosses over. If he's able to proxy, that could mean Ox is down.
Be really good.
Oh, and he spotted.
Ho, 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 ho.
Fire.
Agamemnon falls. And he sees a tree go down. He's looking that way.
Memory Leak closes the distance. They know where Ox is. And the only approach to get to Ox runs right past Sella. Which could mean Memory Leak, who is going to kind of pace himself right now, may find he's walked into a trap.
Oh, Memory Leak's pushing up from behind. Can't get the kill. And now he gets it. Sella
Well,
missed a shot. Gets it on Memory Leak, though.
that was a far less productive trap than I was hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memory Leak just pushed straight up.
Yeah, he just
and
walked
passed
up
him.
there. Sella was like, oh my gosh,
Hello.
she's actually there.
Yeah. E63 M6 could get this. And he does. And top tier ties up the series 1-1
All
on
right.
mines.
Not bad.
Hey, top tier. This is starting to look like the team that we saw from the Season 3 finals. But still was close. Still was close. It turned out to be the tanks that were not in the engagement for most of the time at the beginning that turned out to be the saviors in the end because of the HP value that they had. Memory Leak and E63 M6. E63 M6, 6 for 10. Memory Leak, 11 for 15. Look
Not
at the
bad.
IS6 from not Bellaccio this time, but Explosionism, 6 for 6. Over 2K damage. Bellaccio on the T32, 4 for 7.
Strange choice, actually. I would have thought Valleccio would be in the IS6.
Changing it up. Changing it up.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. And I guess Explosion did a pretty good job anyway, so why complain? Aqua, though, as the highest damage dealer for RBIS, was only 7 for 11 as far as shells.
Whoa.
The rest of them were misses. Just not the best performance right there. Carbon Ward, unfortunately, got messed up so quickly in that battle, especially when the push finally occurred.
Aquavolt needs to hydrate to get the electrolytes to get back in the fights in the next battle. Prohorovka is going to be that battle that we're going to see. Simple Tankers were able to turn it around against #RU on this map. And even though the series is tied, RBIS is going to have to fluctuate with their flux capacitor, you could say. Electricity jokes are going to come your way, guys.
Oh, God.
What's it all about? We're going to find out. the eye roll was awesome. That's what happens. That's what
Clutch.
What?
They're like dad jokes.
They're still
just-
good.
They're dad jokes.
They're Aquavolt jokes, man.
Dad jokes.
Yeah, the Watt one was... I remember I was in college when I was in the Air Force, and the professor of computer engineering that I was studying, and a guy yelled out, "What?" like that, and everybody in the class went, "Never again." They all made those eyes of
Just
"Never
like
do that
you.
again."
You're that guy.
So I played that card once, and I burned it, and it's gone.
Good.
Never again.
Keep it that way.
Yeah.
All right. Battle number 3.
Battle number 3 taking place in Prohorovka. Both the teams are ready to go. Real kill. What do we have for tanks?
All right. For tanks, we've got a T32, T69, and 3 1390s for the side of top tier. Oh, wait. What? Observer 10. You're in a T1.
How am I in a T1? I'm not Observer 10.
You're not Observer 10. You're
No.
Observer 8. I'm Observer 9.
Okay. Looks like there was a error on that side.
Well, actually, they might just kill Observer 10. Yep. They're just going to do that.
Okay.
Throwbacks, guys. Throwbacks
right.
to the old way of World of Tanks.
Let me verify with the admin. Okay, we're going to continue with the match. All right.
Yep. Okay.
This is how they used to do it before
Uh-huh.
spectator mods were released.
Yep. Before the spectator was introduced into the game, it used to just be everyone would load in Bisons or T1s, and the Bisons would kill themselves up against a wall or something, or they would go drown themselves. Sella taking a hit right at the beginning from Explosionism. That T69 getting a sick jump, and now Memory Leak gets a little aggressive. Nakayama is able to punish him for just a little bit. Now Vallejo is going to be able to roll up in a T32. He may be able to get some nice damage, but it's going to bounce onto Aquavolt's turret. Poor Vallejo. And now I think Top Tier has a bit of an advantage as they have the T32, and it looks like RBIS is kind of not postured up as much, and so is kind of giving in.
They have this 4-tank lineup right now, and 2 in the back left and the other one in the bottom right.
Well, from
yeah,
Top
it's
Tier.
just, they're not in a position to sweep in compared to what Simple Tinkers are able to do.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be the case in this. The lineups are in no way prepared for such clown carring, as it were. Memory Leak, though.
Good way to put it.
Well, that's the way it is. Looks like a clown car. Hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm a 1390 running on in. And I'm just going to
132, WZ 132.
That, too. That's a good one, too.
A lot of shots to the dirt.
Well, Pre-Cam's getting messed up.
Rude Awakening gets hit. Still spotted. Memory Leak is targeting him. 6 tanks were spotted for a few seconds. Now it's down to 5. Or now down to 4, excuse me. And Aquavolt, Carbon Warden, Akiyama pushing up. Another shot fired from Carbon against some Explosionism. Does not connect. Velatio connects on Carbon Ward.
Nice shot for 311. He's using the 105mm. Going for the Alpha over the DPM. Doesn't want to leave himself exposed for too long.
Aquavolt, Akiyama still backing up Carbon Ward. Still a couple more shots fired here. Across the bow of these tanks.
It looks like 1390 is getting ready from Top Tier to actually push down the 1-2 line. With that, we could see RBIS actually lose out. Are they at all prepared for a 1-line push? Could they deflect it? Could they accept it? Gabriel, spotted.
Spotted.
Spotted. Shells.
Yes, Miss Moneypenny. Ox Mathis takes down Cool Hammer. Carbon Ward gets hit again.
Alex Mathis might go down.
Carbon Ward hit again. It's a bounce.
One more on Ox. He goes down. Doesn't matter.
Carbon's hit again.
And that could be the push actually right over the middle. It might just be a CT-69s rolling up. That could be the sign as 1390s have fired quite a bit of shells from Top Tier. RBIS getting ready to come in and overmatch on Explosionism in the T-69.
Ooh, beautiful shots coming out of Aqua and Akiyama. 2 more. Oh, bounce! And Aquavolt can't get the next one.
Fizzle.
He falls back.
Wow. That was underwhelming.
It was. They left Explosionism still alive. And Sella, however, is going to charge in. He takes a shot to the side. He gets the kill on Explosionism. Will Sella still live? Memory Link says no. He pushes up, gets the kill. Ox Mathis is the next one targeted. He gets a double kill. Akiyama is able to track him. Memory Link slides. Do they get it? Aquavolt gets the revenge. The T1, Rude Awakening, pushing in, saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. While Velatio and E63M6 push up against Carbon Ward. Carbon Ward.
One more shell is all they need. Vallejo might be reloaded just in time. He is.
Gets it. E63M6 pushing from behind. While McBlack in the 1390 can get behind him. Top Tier flexing their muscles, showing off those guns as Akiyama and Aquavolt are all alone. All alone! And they fall. Precambrian, last one alive.
Yay.
I don't know what movie that's from. That's from.
I don't know.
It sounds familiar to you, doesn't it?
It was creepy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It just came to me out of nowhere.
It must be a movie quote because it's creepy and it seems kind of familiar.
Precambrian's going to be charging up towards the north. He says, I can get the flag. I can get it. For Mexico. Mexico.
He has a Mexican flag on his tank?
I think so.
Take your word for it.
It's cool. All right, 5 minutes left to go. And they're on the flag cap to the south. They're not going to try to chase the T1. They don't want to waste any time. They're going to put all the tanks that they have left alive to the south for the flag
Well,
cap.
except E63 wants to play on hills with the 1390.
Oh, okay.
He's a silly little 1390 player. Just wants to enjoy himself, to frolic and be free, and throw himself off cliffs and potentially damage his tracks.
No, E63 M6 does not want to do that.
Yeah, he does. He just had his fun time.
That name comes from his favorite engine, by the way.
Oh, yes, it does, doesn't it?
Yes,
What,
it does.
what engine does, do you know from?
I do not know what car it's from. I'll have to ask him.
Yeah. We've got a few of those guys
can
in
either-
the WGLNA.
Can either ask him in person if they make it to the finals or ask him over Skype. Skype will probably be faster. Skype will be faster. Base cap has happened. Top tier. And they take another battle victory in the series, 2-1 against RBIS, one battle away from getting their first win of Season 4. This will be a very, very big deal for top tier because they do not want to be in a 0-2 scenario. Not a team that made it in the finals last season. RBIS, they definitely want to get a win here. Who won't want to be 2-0? But if they lose, it's 1-1. So the stakes are a lot higher for top tier. Only in week 2. Only in week 2.
Yep. Well,
and it's already starting to form storylines here.
top tier. It's got to be feeling pretty good at least, because Valleccio absolutely destroyed in that T-32.
Yes.
No cons for him as 2,820 damage is dealt from that T-32. 14 shells hit, 13 pen out of 18 shells fired. Not bad.
The only
Could be
con
worse.
for Valaccio is 115 HP worth of team damage.
That was at the end as a joke.
Oh.
So pay no attention to the team damage. Also, we could probably take a few shells off of that. But you're just fine. Have no fear.
There
of the
is
T-32.
no excuse for domestic violence, Valaccio.
We talk about the girlfriend thing. We talk about the girlfriend thing.
Same team.
And he just abuses his teammates.
If that's how you treat your friends, it's not going to work out, buddy. Now we're just messing with you. Just having some fun.
Cool.
Each of these teams have 60 seconds after the battle, after everything's finalized, for them to choose their tanks. That's why the process is so quick here. That's how we get you the action even faster. Our admin takes care of that, so I want to give a special thank you to Cameron Cam Dozer Reed. You may recognize him with the man with the mustache for our Letters from Home from our previous season. But he's back there, and
his mustache has grown more majestic.
It has. It has. The curls have become part of him.
They were always a part of him. Deep down,
They were. Himmelsdorf is going to be the next battle. Top tier, one battle away, RBIS. Could this be a comeback? It's going to need to be a comeback for them. Rookhill, what do we have for tanks?
For tanks, I'm looking at 3 AMX 5100s, 2 IS3s, 2 T1 Cunninghams against 3 5100s, 2 IS3s, and 2 T1 Cunninghams.
Mirror matchup.
Yay.
One, and here we go. I'll be following Akiyama on the side of RBIS at first here in the blue. Will we see some hill play, or will both these teams forego the hill trap?
Hill play. Hill play from top tier.
Side for Tank Alley. RBIS.
Well, Valleccio's decided
Akiyama's going west. Well, look at this from RBIS. They're going courtyard. They are pushing up.
They're going across the courtyard?
Yes.
Oh, well, Valleccio will find that very soon. And, whoa, surprise, Aquavolt.
Say, hey guys, come back from the hill. Do not fully commit to it because I'm spotting.
Guys.
He only spotted one.
We're on the way.
Oh, he's in trouble. He hits Carbon Ward for a nice hit of 367. But he's going to get unloaded here. Carbon Ward's going for it.
He better keep going for it, or else this is going to be a waste of his time. Valleccio's not taking enough damage to really affect him enough.
Carbon Ward's hit. And he falls. Valaccio pushes out just in time to get the kill. Beautiful play coming out of the 16, 17-year-old kid on top tier. Memory leak around the corner. Waiting. Fires into the husk of Carbon Ward. And now RBIS is in a stalemate position against top tier, except Rude Awakening fires against Ox Mathis.
Yeah, but the thing is, now it's a 4v5. Top tier just has to get the momentum, and then it's going to be all over. Wait for some of these 5100s to be on reload, push on in, overmatch, GG. Akiyama takes 299 more damage, one more shell, he should go down. He's at 239. Miss from Rude Awakening. All he needs is one more. One more, and then it's complete overmatch. No chance for RBIS.
Ox Mathis takes another huge hit for 397. Aquavolt's ready for the push out, and there's Rude Awakening. And they're continuing to move around here. against Sella. Rude's almost going to fall, though. He has to be careful.
Rude's gun actually got in the way of Memory Leak and his ability to fire on Akiyama or Oxmathis, and because of that, wasted a shell, and actually might have been the result of why Rude Awakening actually was killed.
Oh, look at this. Aquavolt's trying to block so much for Oxmathis. Explosionism! He's got 3 HP left! He's going to go right for Oxmathis. Oxmathis tries to get the ram damage, can't get it, and he bounces! He bounces off Oxmathis, and he falls to Sella. Velaccio takes down Aquavolt. Aquavolt played that so well in that 5100 to try to block for Oxmathis. Coolhammer's coming around to the side. Can he get the shots from behind? Can he penetrate against an IS-3?
It's
no.
possible.
No, Velaccio gets the kill. Sella, last one left alive against 2 tier 8s. Can't tell if E63M6 is reloading. Coolhammer, he's going to go for it against Sella. He's going to keep him spotted. Sella's going to fall back in that IS-3. Waiting for E63M6 to be full on his drum and to get the kill, and top tier will win this series.
Or Sella can take it back.
He could.
All he has to do is bounce.
Big bounce. E63M6, he fires back.
Forward, Sella. And bounces will occur.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Where's Velaccio?
Coming. Soon. TM.
E63M6, you wait.
Sella knows what's up. Sella knows. He knows he has to go forward. He knows he has to pen someone somewhere.
Here comes Velaccio. Here he comes. This is the
come on.
big strike he needs.
See, there he goes.
Gets it, 394. And E63M6 gets the last shot, the kill, and the victory for a battle win on Himmelsdorf and a match victory against RBIS. Nice play from Velaccio in that.